So, hello everyone. My name is Felipe, and I work as a senior DevOps engineer in Ireland. And today I'm here to talk about. It's kind of a simple thing, but a lot of people has been requesting me about that, and we are going to talk about EC2 and Amazon. And for the majority, or for a lot of people, this might be simple things, but a lot of people doesn't know what it is, and this might be very useful to people who is newer to Amazon and who is just getting touch now with the cloud engineering and all those things. So first of all, what is EC2? Of course, that everyone knows Amazon. Amazon is today the biggest cloud providers in the market, and one of the most famous services that the Amazon has is the EC2, and EC2 is basically the elastic compute cloud. It is a service where you can launch instance and machines in the cloud. So you can launch Windows machines, you can launch Ubuntu machines, you can launch a diversity of machines in the cloud, and this service is really good because it helps you in provisioning and launching and building a machine in really seconds. As you guys, I will show here how we can set up and how we can create a new instance in EC2. But first of all, let's talk about some basic things regarding EC2. And of course, that EC2 and the market of cloud instance has been make a kind of a revolution in the IT companies and IT field, because if you start to thinking about in the past, a lot of people and a lot of companies had all their infrastructure on premise. And when I say on premise, which means that all their infrastructure was based in their site with their computers, with their equipment. So, and now a lot of companies has been migrating to the cloud, because it's of course there are a lot of costs involved in this, but it is still sometimes, and in the majority of the time, it is cheaper having your resources in the cloud. And also is more secure, and you don't have to manage all your infrastructure, and you don't have, and also from the space management perspective, you don't need space for putting all your infrastructure and equipments. So that's one of the good things. And here in EC2, it is basically a service that you select the size of the machine, so you can select the run, the amount of run, the volume, how much you will have, like as a SSD or a hard disk. And also you can change the CPU. So basically you can set up a server for you. You can pick up and all the configuration of the server. Of course, that if you put a better CPU or you put more memory, the cost and the final will be higher. But you can customize as you want, as I can see. And so, in what we have here, first of all, we have the famous AMIs, which are Amazon Machine Images. So Amazon, you in Amazon Web Service Console, Amazon offers to us a lot of customized images that has already a lot of operational system installed and a lot of other things. So that's good because we can use those images to boot up our servers so in seconds. So which means that Amazon has already images for based Windows servers, for Ubuntu servers, for Red Hat servers, for a lot of different servers. They have AMIs that comes with specific uses, like they have AMIs for Docker. For people who are going to use only containers, they have AMIs that are specifically for graphic processing, another that is specific for machine learning, and also they have like the tires, which is and As you guys can see, that Amazon offers to us a lot of different sizes and a lot of different types that we can be used to a lot of different purposes. So as we can see here, we have all those types here, and so we have types of instance for general purpose, for general creating servers, for computer optimized, for storage optimized, for accelerating computing, for storage again optimized, and also for a lot of things. Of course, that if you search more, there's a lot. Like those two ones are for general purpose. The three, the T3 and the T3A. But if you search more, you can see that there's a difference between them of each one of those types here in the table, and so we'll have a lot of them for this. And let's try to launch up. So for this tutorial here, you have to check that you must have an Amazon account. If you don't have, you just have to create a new one, and it's just easy, and you just have to create like pass your email and password. It's very fast and very simple. So let's create a machine here. I am on the Amazon console. If you don't have an account, you have to create one. It's very easy. It's very fast to create a new account. So you just have to you can go here to services and type EC2, or you can go here in the compute section. Is the first service, because it's one of the most used services in Amazon. So you can go both here in this button here, the launch instance, or you can go to instance here in the sidebar, and you can go to launch instance again. So here we start. As you guys can see, we have the AMIs, which are the images from Amazon. And as you guys can see, we have images for Ubuntu server, for Microsoft Windows server, for deep learning images that are based on Ubuntu. We have a lot of them, and also we have a marketplace where you can buy images. For the sake of simplicity, today we are going to Ubuntu server. But you can select whatever you want, and here in the we have to choose the instance type. So as you guys can see, there's like a huge amount of instance type that we can select. And here, like in the side beside that, the name, you can see that the CPU and the run in gigabytes, and also the storage. The storage we are going to configure further. And as you guys can see here on T2 Micro, we have the free trial eligible, which means that I will not pay for this in my first 12 months when you create a new Amazon account. So just for this example now, we are going to use this. But if you want to process larger things and you have you need a better server, you can change for another type. So we are going to next here, and here you can set the number of instances will be only one. The VPC is the network. We can set here as a default, and another day I will talk more about VPC, which is another service from Amazon. And here, and now to sign the public IP, it is you had to set as enabled. So you can SSH into your instance easier with public internet. If you don't have a public IP, the only way of connecting to your instance is if you are connected to your VPC. So here it's another things that we can jump to the next section here. It is more advanced configuration things, and it's not the purpose of that video. We can go to the storage, and here in the storage you can select the size of your EBS volume, which will be basically the file system of your Ubuntu server. And we can select, for the sake of simplicity again, we're going to select only 8, and we are going to add tags. You can add tag here. I will only add a tag with name tutorial test only for our tutorial is okay. You can add tags as many as you want here. It's just for identify an instance, because when you have a lot of instances in your account, it's a good practice to set the tags. Like you can set also the environment if it is a dev server, a production server. And here's the important part. Those are the secured groups, and the secured groups kind of manage all the ports that can be accessed in your instance. So currently here, as you can see, the only port that we can access through the public internet in our instance is the port 22, the SSH, and here also is it is the Cedar range of IPs that can access that. So the 0000/0, which means that anyone can access which any IP. And so we can basically add more rules here. Imagine that we have Nginx server running in our EC2 instance. So an Nginx server is running on HTTP on port 80. So we have to go here and type HTTP, and we can set up here. Of course, that you can set this here to be only your IP. So, and just remember that this has to be the public IP, is not your private IP from your internal network. So let's refill and launch. So everything is good. We are good to go. We can launch an instance. And here is an important thing: is the key pair. The key pair is a kind of encrypted key that we are going to use for SSH into our instance. So a lot of people that SSH instance are used to only use the password and the user. But here Amazon, to add a layer of security, they created the key pair, which adds a layer of security, and you have to use that key for SSH, or even to send files to your instance. So here we are going to create a new key pair. It will be test, and you just have to hit download key pair. We have downloaded the key pair here, and we are going to launch in our instance. And when you hit launch, it will take like around 1 minute. We can see here that is currently pending, and it will take, like I said, around 1 minute. In the meantime, we can go here. We are going to SSH into that instance. In the meantime, you can go here. I will open a new section here on my terminal, and so my key pair is saved on downloads directory. We can check it here. It is here, test here. So in order to, how can I SSH into the instance? It is easier. It's very easy. We can just have to go to connect here. Of course that I'm using a MacBook, but if you are using if you are using Windows, you have to download the PuTTY. This one here, we have to download this guy here for allowing SSH to your instance. And you have just to go here and copy the command, and the command will already offer the argument of your key pair. We'll say the user, and this one is the public DNS of your instance. So, and as we can see here, is the public DNS, or you can also use the public IP. So we just have to go here, copy this one, and go to and try to SSH. We'll say that this is the fingerprint. It's basically the encryption tool that is based on the key pair. You just have to say yes. And in the first time that you generated your key pair, almost of the computers and Amazon will say that you have an unprotected private key file, which means that they have bad permissions. And for solving this will happen every time you create a new keeper. You just have to do a c8 mod 400 to your new file, and now you can try to SSH again. Yeah, as you guys can see, we have SSH. And now, just for example, we are going to run we're going to do sudo apt-get update, just for updating the packages and all the basic things for Ubuntu. And after that, we are going to install Nginx. And so let's go here, apt-get install Nginx. So we are going to install Nginx, and as you guys can see, we are installing Nginx, and we are going to check if the Nginx is working on our using our DNS, our public DNS. So just to double check here, I'm going to check if the Nginx is running. We can see that Nginx is running, and as default configuration for Nginx, the Nginx runs on the port 80 and HTTP. So if we take here the public DNS of our instance and paste here, we are going to reach the Nginx. So good, now we access the port 80. And also if we try with the public DNS, with the public IP, will be the same thing. We are going to reach the Nginx too. So, and now we are going back to the secured groups. You can go here on the sidebar, and or you can go here, click in our instance, and go to the secured groups. And we can see that, remember that we created a rule for the port 80 and for the port 22 for SSH. Now we are going only to test that, to double check that this works. And so basically we are going to delete the rule for port 80. So we delete it here. Now we don't have access to the port 80, and if we try to access Nginx again, we can see that what is going to happen is that this attempt is going to time out. It will be running here forever until time out. So that's it. That's very, as you guys just have seen, it is very easy to create a new instance in Amazon. And just one thing that you have to take care, remember that every time that you create a new instance, that just double check that you are going to terminate that instance. Of course, in the case we are going to use that as a real server, we are not going to terminate. But if you are just trying to test things, just terminate that, because having an instance running under your account may charge you a lot. The charge for instance are incredibly high, and especially when you are using a lot of big tires like the T21. Not the micro and the small ones, but the bigger ones charge you a lot. Just double check, and don't forget to terminate your instance like I'm doing now. So I hope that's a very basic tutorial about launching an instance in EC2. In the future, I hope I will do that, but using Terraform, which is an infrastructure as code framework, where you can launch your instance only using code, a piece of code. And I hope everyone like it, and if you like it, just share it. And thanks a lot. See you in the next video.